was doing some washing, so if you can hear a washing machine, it's that. And the best bit is, I have Donald Duck on my jumper, because Donald is my second favourite Disney character. My first favourite is Goofy, and then it's Donald, and then it's Stitch. Mickey's somewhere on the list, I don't know. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. I love this trilogy, it was so fun. The Kane Chronicles is based around Egyptian mythology, and it follows Sadie and Carter Kane, who just watched their father die, and it turned out he was doing some sort of ritual, but it ended up releasing some sort of gods. It did release some gods, and then all hell has broken loose, just like in every other Rick Riordan book. Sadie and Carter Kane end up going to Brooklyn, assisted by a magician called Sia, and end up living with their uncle, who has been taken over by Set, the evil god in all of this. Evil. And they have to basically stop the world from ending 3 times. Bloody hell. To put in perspective, Sadie is 12 and I believe Carter is 14 at the beginning of this trilogy. So they're very young and they're put into so many situations that young kids shouldn't be in. Like, kids shouldn't do this sort of thing. But if it inspires kids to read, then send kids to their death always, Rick Riordan. Do it. I read the first book, The Red Pyramid, back in 2010 when it first came out, and then I read Serpent's Shadow a few years later, and now I've just got round to reading the entire trilogy, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, I would give the trilogy a good solid 4 stars. There you go, 4. It is very underrated, and I think that is because people love Percy Jackson, and they just want Percy Jackson. They want him in books. However, this book, Carter is basically Percy, but an Egyptian. in the Egyptian world, Carter is basically Percy. He's just, oh, I love Carter. I love Carter. He's so stupid. We'll say that. He is stupid. And madly in love with this magician called Sia, who goes through some stuff herself. I've just pulled my neck. The Kane Chronicles consists of The Red Pyramid, Serpent's Shadow and Throne of Fire. And I think my favourite one out of all those was The Serpent's Shadow. I just thought it was a lot more entertaining, a lot more was packed into it. I did feel like Throne of Fire was a little bit rushed towards the end. It did wrap up the entire series, but the big battle in it was just a bit underwhelming, and I don't like when battles are underwhelming and endings of series and trilogies are just underwhelming. Carter and Sadie Kane are the blood of the pharaohs. Basically they're from a lineage of pharaohs, I think. That's the thing, I'm not too sure. However, they embody the power of Horus and Isis, but what they have to do is not let them fully take control of their body, or bad things will happen. They won't be themselves anymore, and the gods will take that. Something like that. Something like that. But that was a bit that confused me, because it didn't seem that other magicians, although they had the blood of the pharaohs, because obviously they would have been a magician, was sort of following another god and had to not let them embody them. That's a bit that confused me. And then there was a kid that had some magic penguins. I mean, good choice in animal, penguins. But that just confused me that this 5-year-old or 6-year-old or however year-old was playing with penguins. And then used those penguins to destroy the big god at the end. Anubis is the god of death, and he's very attractive, but he's very nice about death as well. I don't know. And him and Sadie have a thing going on, and I wasn't too cool with that because Sadie's 12 at the beginning of the book, and then she's 13 in the next book. And then Walt also likes Sadie, but he's like 16. I don't know, 13-year-old going out with a 16-year-old just sort of creeps me out a little bit, so. But it's like, because I like both Walt and Anubis. One thing that I really like about this trilogy is that it's not just the big gods, Egyptian gods that are mentioned in this series. There's also the minor gods, and I really like that because we all focus, even in history class where we're like teeny tiny, they focus on the big gods. However, we didn't do much Egyptian mythology in school. We did more just about ancient history, about Tutankhamun, mummification, that sort of stuff. We didn't do like all the gods. I wish we did though. That would have been cool. Like when you learn about ancient Greece, you learn about the gods. I'm going off topic. My favourite one was Bess. He is just this little dwarf guy, doesn't very not attractive, but he like screams boo at people and they're instantly scared, and he broke my heart as well. This book just broke my heart. Why? Why? You think that Set is going to be the evil guy, the guy that needs to defeat at the very end of the series. That is not the case. Set, although he is evil, I mean that's his secret name, he actually comes handy at some points. So he's not completely evil, and there was one bit I was like, quite cool you are. But the actual villain, he is so evil and just kill people out of cold blood. Like, I can kill you. Dead. You're dead. Go away. And it was like, no, we're going to kill you. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this series. I do think people should pick it up if you are a Rick Riordan fan and you haven't read this trilogy. It's fun. It's a very fun series. I have to admit, it was very fun. There were times that was sad and it was good trilogy. Good trilogy. I know there are some novellas where Percy and Carter meet and Annabeth and Sadie meet, which I am tempted to read because I know he wrote them because a lot of people that like this trilogy was like, oh, they should meet. They're only across the bridge from each other. They should meet up. And they did. But I haven't met them yet. And that is everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. Press that button. And if you have read this trilogy, please leave a comment down below if you did and if you enjoyed it, or if this video made you want to go read. And if you are new to this channel, there is a subscribe button down there which you should click. Down there, which you should click. Down there. I don't know where it is. And I shall see you all soon with a brand new video. Yay!